If we've only got 20 minutes, half an hour, they've been want it up straight away and then, set away. Much like sex, you want it up straight away and then bang, do it. But,
and then it's done 3 minutes later.
Exactly. See if it opens up here. I'm trying to get rid of all the porn on my computer by running the virus scan, so it's taking forever.
Derek's missus is due to give birth really just about any time now, Derek.
3 weeks a day, aye.
3 weeks a day.
That is, aye.
Mate, it's about to change.
I know.
So that's it.
Cummins rode the tackle, and the keeper. Sorry, what have I put here? If you've ever listened to any of our outtakes in our previous pods, I get mixed up with what I've put sometimes.
That's all right.
Right, I'll say that one again. Hi everyone and welcome to the next episode of the Ayr United podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek and with me is my co-host Dave.
Good evening, Derek, how are you?
Not bad, my friend, how are you?
I'm very well, mate, very well. And yet again, we've got another guest on with us just a couple of weeks after Snagsy's on. This week I have a very old friend of mine, we've known each other for a long time, and another member of the Grangemouth Rangers podcast spectrum out there, you'll be pleased to know, Derek. Good friend of mine and good friend of quite a lot of the ex-Rangers players. That was how I was delighted he was on to speak about his charity, the stuff that he does for charity with a lot of the ex-Rangers players. A good friend of mine, Graeme Clark. How are you doing, Graeme?
Hi guys, how you doing? It's a pleasure to be on. Thanks very much for having me.
Yep, cheers mate.
Very welcome, glad to have you on. And
thank you.
I just hope it doesn't turn out to be another Grangemouth fest like it was with Snagsy anyway.
It certainly was. I'll speak to Graeme later on, but I'm sure Graeme is bound to know Snagsy for the We Welcome the Chase podcast, as well as a couple of other guys as well. I was speaking to another one of them midweek that says he knows Graeme, but to be fair, Graeme, there's no many folk in Grangemouth that don't know you over the last 20 years, let's be perfectly honest.
Well, no, open that door, and if we can keep away from the female aspect of that would be great. That would be awesome.
Dave, who have you brought onto this podcast here? You're lowering the tone already.
Some things never change, Derek. They really don't, mate. They really don't. But no, delighted to have you on, Graeme. And as I say, this is probably the first time ever that it's not been a sort of very last minute sort of getting everything arranged with you, because going back years and years ago, Graeme was the master of organising things, but it would always be done at the last minute. I don't know how many times I got phone calls for Graeme about 2:30 in the afternoon to say, do you fancy giving me 5-a-sides, Dave? I quite fancy that. No bother. How many folk have you got to play? Oh, so far just you. And if we've got a pitch book, 3 o'clock. And it was, we would have half an hour to try and gather as many people as possible. But Graeme, the one thing I'll say is we always managed to get at least 8 to 10 folk. We have about half an hour to go. So, no, absolutely delighted to have you on. And like I said before, you have been doing a hell of a lot of work for charity, and a lot of that has been involving ex-players for both sides of the old firm. But like myself, you're a big Rangers man. You watch all the matches, and probably the first ever person to be a member of the Wheel of Alec Cleland Rangers Supporters Club. Is that right?
I think you'll find that was founder, Dave. Founder of the Wheel of Alec.
Was that just because you were the only member of the Alec Cleland fan club?
I think that's harsh. There was a lot of room in the club, but I wouldn't say I was the only one. But there's still I'm still taking applications to this day, so feel free to chime in. There's plenty of room.
Derek, we actually got Graeme, all the lads at one point, because Graeme had another thing. There's a famous, well, I say famous, but a notorious Sunday amateur league team that was from Grangemouth. It was basically Graeme that started it all, the organisation of it all, and it basically was just all our pals that wanted a game of football, actually, at 11-a-sides, and there was one year that we got Graeme a surprise, and it was a signed Rangers top with just Alec Cleland's name on it, and it's a big massive signature right up the centre of the top, and that's one of the tops Graeme has told me that he's got with Brian Laudrup and Paul Gascoigne and everything like that as well. So
that's a true story. Obviously, I think I played right back in those teams, and obviously having a rather large forehead, I had quite a lot in common with Alec Cleland, both right back, both Bal Napoli. So when the guys got me that top, I was actually really chuffed, and this is the sad part, I probably shouldn't be admitting this, but I kept it for years and years. So when I was going around meeting players like Gaza and Laudrup, I actually took that specific top with me. And I've always pointed out to the guys as they've been signing it, that's Alec Cleland's signature in the middle there. If they should be impressed with that, and they're like, "Oh, aye, yep, okay, no problem." So, it's turned into a fabulous keepsake.
Definitely,
a mission on the 9 in a row journey to get these guys to sign it. It'll probably one of the few ones in existence with Alec Cleland on it.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to say that top and the guy who's done all the 9 in a row players are probably the only two players that've got Alec Cleland on their top, probably.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. There you are.
Excellent.
So,
now, getting into that, Graeme, can you give us just a wee quick insight into some of the stuff that you've been doing for charity and some of the players that you've been meeting up with? Just sort of let everybody know, the type of stuff that you've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we tend to do numerous events, and they tend to be speaking events or entertainment events. And like I said, I've been very, very lucky as a Rangers fan to have worked organised and ran some fantastic Rangers events. So we did an evening with Michael Malls and Arthur Newman in Walkabout, which was fantastic. Absolute great guys, really, really funny, entertaining. To bigger events like black tie dinners at the Hilton in Glasgow with your Ronald de Boers, Walter Smiths, Alex McLeishy's, Brian Laudrup's, Lorenzo Amoruso's, Barry Ferguson's. So it's personally, you've always kind of got to keep that level of professionalism when you go into a room and you meet these guys, even though the super fan deep down inside of you is jumping up and down. My God, here's Brian Laudrup or Paul Gascoigne, but you maintain your professionalism and stuff. But we're doing a night with Rangers legends on the 9th of March, sold out, with Laudrup, Barry Ferguson, Chris Boyd and Amoruso, and to date, pre-event, we've raised £30,000
wow.
for Cash for Kids. So that's not every event hits those kind of heights, but some of them do. So it is worthwhile. Like I say, as a personal point, I like to support as many charities and good causes as we can, because these events do make an awful lot of money. And to be fair, it has to be said that it's the generosity of the Rangers fans at these events that hits that kind of target. And that's a source of personal pride for myself, where it's coming from, what's it going to, and how we're manning the manner in which we're able to raise it. And like I say, as a side note, guys, I'm not going to lie, getting to meet some of these guys is just an absolute, it's a dream come true. And from a selfish point of view, that's just a cherry on top of the cake.
I mean, I spoke to you just a few days ago, and one of the first questions that I asked you, because I've seen all your pictures on Instagram and stuff like that when you've been meeting a lot of these players, and the first question I asked you was, how on earth could you keep it together meeting Brian Laudrup? Because I know personally I would probably be like a wee school lassie seeing the members of One Direction or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I would be blooming absolutely weak at the knees probably. I think if I was to meet Brian, I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I would try to bloody hug him and everything. Do you know what I mean? So when you meet guys like him, surely it must just hit you as if to say, "Oh my God, I absolutely worship this guy, and here I am." Actually, you actually went over to Denmark to meet him as well, Graeme. So
yeah, we went
incredible.
over pre-event. Yeah, we went over pre-event to get a lot of things signed so we could get them framed for the event. But yeah, listen, the thing you're talking about, seeing photos on Instagram and how I can keep it together. That photo on Instagram does not show my initial reaction, guys. All right, that photo looks calm and composed. That's an hour later when I've calmed down and I've breathed into the brown bag and I've had a glass of water and I've kind of laid down and the blood pressures came down. But meeting these guys, I mean, you really genuinely, I mean, that Dave, from back in the day when we ran about and going to iBox, season ticket holder and stuff, and these guys are idols. They're really up there, and some of the things that they've achieved and the manner in which they've achieved it really is, it's almost godlike status. So you walk into a room and all of a sudden this guy's in front of you saying, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Brian Laudrup." You're like, "Yes, I know. I'm well aware of who you are. How are you doing?" And you've got to kind of sit there quite calm and composed and see when all you want to do is go over and just hug the man.
Aye.
And not stop, which can be quite frightening for a few of the players. As I'm a big lad. But it's you have got to keep it together. But I've nothing. They say don't meet your idols and don't meet your heroes. In this case, it couldn't be further from the truth. It's been a fantastic experience with all of them, and to actually sit in their company and hear them recount some of their memories of Rangers and playing in these games, that to me is just it's an experience you can't buy. You just can't buy that in a relaxed atmosphere. Just personal one-to-one, and after 2-3 people having a coffee morning, and they'll start telling you about 9 in a row in some of these games, and you're like, wow, you really need to pinch yourself.
Aye, because you'll be saying to yourself, well, I actually paid money to go and actually watch that game.
Absolutely.
And we've got recollections in our head as to how the game panned out and as to who's playing, but to actually speak to these guys, and I know as well, you're actually, I'll not say great friends, but you've become quite sort of say friendly-ish with quite a few of the ex-Rangers players, one in particular who you were telling me all about, which we'll get into. So I mean, that as well for you must be incredible that these guys are know you now by your first name, and they're quite averse to speaking to you on the phone and stuff like that. It must be really, you must be pinching yourself sometimes, really.
Oh, it's amazing how these guys embrace their stalkers. It's fantastic how they kind of they give me the time of day. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, once you've done a few events, it's kind of a stretch, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm best pals with any of these guys, or I'm pal enough where I phone up and say how you're doing. But yeah, there's certainly one or two of them that when they're over, we certainly meet up, we grab a coffee, we have a chat, and there's a couple in particular that I've done a few events with now, and those guys, you can pick up the phone and you can give them a call and talk to them, and yeah, it's definitely surreal, and you never ever kind of lose that when you say, well, I'm just going to go and give so and so a phone, and you've got to kind of pinch yourself for a minute.
Come on, Graeme. I know, but you need to let all our listeners out there. Who's the person that keeps in contact with you the most? Who's the person that you could phone up quite?
There's a couple. I must admit, I've got kind of a very good relationship with Lorenzo Amoruso.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top lad. We've done a couple of events together. He's coming over again in the 9th, and I've been out a few times with him when he's been over in Glasgow as well. And he's just a top lad. I've enjoyed his company immensely, and whether it's going for a beer, going for a coffee, or whatever.
Oh man,
he's just a top man. And whenever you phone him, it's always, "Hi, my friend." And that it's actually, here's a true story. And this is the sad geek in me coming out here. I should really just stop, but I won't. I'm like an uncontrollable runaway train here now that I've started.
Right.
But the first ever time that I worked with him, he sent me a WhatsApp. And that WhatsApp, and it's the first time I'd ever really kind of got in events with Rangers players, certainly. And the WhatsApp started with, "Hello, Graeme, my friend," and then they went on to the message. But I just kept playing that back and back to my wife, to the postman, to the guys in the pub, to the strangers in the park, to anyone I would buy into. And listen, listen to this. Do you know who this is? Just listen to the first line. Hello there, my friend. Right, did you hear that? Catch that. Because I can get it in HD and we can play it again. In fact, into the head. So I did go a little bit, fan crazy initially, but I can't speak highly enough of all the players I've kind of met, and some of them have put me in some positions. It's quite funny, but I'll give an example. We done a night. It was fantastic. We done a black tie event. I think it was Ronald de Boer, Amaruso, Walter Smith, and Alex McLeish. So a lot of these guys had arrived. The night the event was on a Friday night, and it was black tie. Okay, now when you're doing a black tie event, it's quite a struggle to get people to turn up in black tie dress. Yeah, you'll always get the one or two turn up in jeans and a t-shirt, whatever, so it's black tie. We fought for weeks and weeks to get everyone in a black tie and all the rest of it. So, Walter Smith, coming in a suit, black tie, everything's fine. Alex McLeish, coming in a suit, black tie, everything's fine. Amaruso, coming in a suit, black tie, everything's fine. So we go and pick up Ronald de Boer to the airport. And this is possibly an hour and a half before the first guests are arriving.
Right.
And he walks out in jeans, white tennis trainers, and a blue shirt, which is fine. However you want to travel, that's up to you. So he walks out like that, looking quite dapper. And I'm like, all right, you're looking great. As we're walking to the car to go to the hotel, I'm looking at him and I'm going, that's an awful small carry-on bag you've got there, Ronald. And he's like, well, yeah, it is. I says, no. I says, it's an awful small bag. Your clothing, your change. Oh, I'm flying out first thing in the morning. A hat and your suit is. He's like, suit? Oh no! They just told me wear something blue.
Oh no!
So he's got his blue jeans, his blue shirt, and his white tennis shoes. So we get to the hotel, and I send out a runner to go and get him a suit. We measure him up. We send him to Slater's to get a blue suit, and he comes back, and everything's fine. And then he walks out the lift as he comes down there, and in the rush and confusion, we forgot to get him shoes. So there he is in a suit and a pair of white tennis shoes.
I bet you still look cool as. Bet you still look cool as fuck though, Graeme. Let's be honest.
He's the only person I've seen carry that look off, guys. Right, but Amaruso gave him absolute pelters. And the thing is, if you do not take my word for it, go into the Epic Promotion. Here's the plug. Go into the Epic Promotions page on Facebook and have a look at the photos from that night. And you'll see the evidence for yourself. And you can tell me if you carried it off or not. There he is in a brand new gleaming 3-piece blue suit and white tennis shoes.
Fantastic.
True story. So that's the calibre of these guys. But look, they're fun nights. They're a lot of fun to be around and a lot of fun to be involved in. So, and we look forward to doing many, many more. To tell you the truth.
Brilliant. So go on, give your website and that a wee plug again, Graeme, when you go, because I think I maybe interrupted you there. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, the website's been ripped down and is getting kind of an overhaul, a facelift, if you will. But it would when it's finished, it'll be Epic Promotions, and there's a Facebook page which is Epic Promotions and an Instagram which is Epic Events. So by all means, guys, follow those. We'll be doing a lot more Rangers themed events over the few coming years. I've got a couple of crackers lined up actually for 2019, and like I say, any charities or good causes out there that people want to put forward, then I'm always willing to listen, and we're always willing to donate to them. So absolutely
fantastic. Brilliant. I've just checked that picture out. What a classy guy.
Have you actually looked at it, Derek?
Everybody in their brown shoes apart from Big Ammo and another guy there, and standing right next to him in his tennis shoes. Fantastic.
And does he look cool as fuck,
Oh
Derek?
Man, that's the dog's bollocks right there.
Yes, I'm not getting there's so many pulling that act off, I'll tell you that.
Fantastic. Right, Derek, I'll let you lead on now, mate.
Excellent. So great stuff there from Graeme. Absolutely fantastic. Checking their website out and when it's built, and obviously the Facebook page. So the main point of the podcast here will now go down to the tunnel. No, we won't. We'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch.
You just said that, did you not?
What? I said down to the tunnel.
Oh, did you? Sorry, mate. Right.
I get it wrong every time. I get it wrong
every week.
It's my party piece. Right, we've got 3 games to cover this episode, and we will start with the unfortunate 2-1 loss at home to Hibs. That was on Saturday, the 3rd of February. Lined up: Foderingham, Tavernier, Martin, Bates, John, Holt, Goss, Candias, Windass, Murphy and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Anik, Hodgson, Cardoso, Dodu, Docherty, Herrera and Cummings. Did you get to see the game yourself, Graeme?
I did indeed, unfortunately I did.
Yeah. I've since watched it back on RTV again. I've put myself through that. It just shows you how much different the game looks on TV when you're actually there, because on TV I didn't think we played as bad as I thought, but obviously being there we were dire for most of the first half, weren't we?
We were indeed. It's one of the frustrating things. You never know, and well, it's just my opinion, guys, but you never know what Rangers team's going to kind of turn up, you know. And there's a lot of talent in that team, but I suppose it's the $1 million question: what is it that's missing in performances like these? Whereas other games they go out and they pull it together and put in some great performances. But for me, it never really got going in that game at all. There was too many players not really turning up, not enough. No pressure, not enough aggression going forward that they have shown in games this season. And very, very frustrating, I must admit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Graeme, I mean, I'll let you get into the key points of the game. Derek, I had high hopes for this match. I really, really did have high hopes, considering, both you and I were at the first game at Ibrox against Hibs, and we were, robbed out of that one by a lot of really bad decisions, and I really thought the players would be really well up for it. But as you said, Derek, initially there, they really did they turn up, and like I said, I'll let you get into the key points, but really disappointed.
Yep. I felt we played well for the first really 7 minutes. We did kind of come out the traps quite fast. Hibs changed that about after they got an injury to the loanee Barker, and he had to go off. On the 7th minute there was good play and quick play forward, with Windass getting the ball into the box, couldn't get a shot off. It was a bad first touch from him. John was clattered in the initial build up to that play as well. 9th minute, Hibs with a chance from the right hand side, good cross in, Hibs player sclaffed it, Tavernier got a good intervention before the Hibs player could tap it home from 3 yards. On the 11th minute, Hibs had the ball in the back of the net after a run down the right, cross on the deck and hit home from 3 yards, nobody picking up the attacker, however it was ruled offside. Not a lot of complaints from the Hibs players, so obviously must have been. RTV never really picked it up, to be honest, so we never got a good replay of it, so couldn't really see that. 20th minute, Hibs cut through our defence on the left, simple pass to the middle, found the attacker in space, but they had a shot which was easily saved by Foderingham. On the 30th minute, we had a chance. It was a great long ball up by Windass, lovely takedown by Candias, squared to Morelos in the box. He took a touch, but the defender got the ball. He should have shot it first time. There's a thing, and it's been a feature through all 3 games we're going to cover and through all season. Our players just seem to want to take the extra touch that they don't seem to need, especially when they're in the attacking position. And that's one of the frustrating things. They're always looking for the perfect setup for the goal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And unfortunately we went a goal down on the 40th minute, and to be honest you've seen it coming, because from that next 10 minutes there we were just kind of, I wouldn't say we're on the ropes, but we were just weren't getting to grips with it at all. It was a goal from McGinn, determined play from McGinn in the centre circle, wins the ball, drove the ball forward, drifts to the left, hits a great shot from about 18 yards and into the back of the net past Foderingham. In fairness, it was a great shot, but
it was, aye. But I mean, he struck it well, and it was moving. So you've got to give the guy his credit there. But again, where's the closing down? Where's the urgency? He got a wee bit too much room for my liking on that one. But again, it just comes down to opinion, doesn't it?
Yeah. On the back of the goal as well, there was a smoke bomb let off in the Hibs end, and from reports on Follow, it was allegedly thrown to the side of the park, which just narrowly missed a ball girl. So don't know if that's true or not, but shocking. And certainly from the reports were that she was quite shaken by it, which again goes to show that shouldn't have been done at football games.
Aye, definitely not.
Yep.
So we went into half time a bit depressed after that. I think the players did get booed as well, which, I don't know. What's your opinion on booing players at half time?
Well, it's certainly not going to do anything positive for the team. It's not going to lift anyone's spirits. I mean, it's one of those things you don't want to see it for. But I never kind of agree with it. You go there as a supporter, therefore you're supposed to support your team through thick and thin. That's just my take on it. I don't think it's going to lift the players. It's not going to get a positive reaction from them. So, but at the end of the day, people pay their money. They're entitled to give their opinion. They're entitled to vent their frustration. So, looking at both sides, it's not my personal choice. I think you've got to get behind the team. You know, it's a bit of applause and a bit of come on, Rangers, get into this, as opposed to booing your players. But it's one of those things that, like I say, it's always going to be a divide amongst the supporters. You're going to get your supporters that are there, support their team thick and thin throughout everything. And you get other fans that, as soon as things don't go their way, or a player, I think the players can pick up on that. You know, the groans when a player loses a ball. Yeah, it's frustrating, but come on, get back into the game. You know,
I think as well, Graeme, there's a lot of it. I mean, we've been watching them for a long time, you know, and we've seen us being, you know, this all-dominant team, and, you know, now, you know, we've found it really difficult the sort of last 6 years since all the troubles. I think there's a lot of impatience with a lot of the Rangers fans out there. There's a lot of people still think that we should be dominating every match, which is what we all want, but the frustrations come out. But I'm, you know, in the same sort of way as you. It doesn't help, but it is very frustrating. And as you say, right at the start of the match there, we never know what Rangers team's going to turn up. So it's been very frustrating that way. But
that's the thing. I mean, guys, you're going 1 week and you're seeing a really, you know, charged up and aggression-led performance, where you're thinking, right, we're turning a corner here. The team's starting to gel. Pick your cliche. You know, they're starting to gel, they're starting to click, they're starting to come together. And then the next week it takes them 25 minutes to warm up, 25 minutes to get going, or they're second to every ball, and a couple of players don't look interested. And I know that's not the case. But then that's what's going to fuel these kind of fans to boo at half-time, because they're going in with a little bit of hope from previous performances, and then they're going in and you're thinking, well, where's the team for last week? You know, and I do get the frustrations, I do. I just think they can be channeled a little bit more positively, I suppose.
Yep, absolutely. It's one of these things, as you said before, it's about opinions, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong one in this one, to be honest, but I don't know. Certainly going into half-time, as I said, we're disappointed, but certainly something that G'd us back up again, the fans anyway, that was, is Gaza coming out at half-time. What a reception.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yep, brilliant.
Yep, there was even a chant of Gaza, Gaza, geese, a sash, and he kind of mimicked almost to try to do the flute again, but
surely not.
But he was certainly got interviewed going back up the tunnel afterwards, and he did look quite emotional, and certainly he's been giving us shout outs on Twitter after that as well. So good to see him back in health as well. And
was it the next day that you met him, Graeme, or was it two days after that? So I know that was one of the meetings you had.
Yeah, it was the Sunday, guys, the next again morning, and he looked well, and he seemed in good spirits, and he seemed really well, and I think he's got a lot of good people around him just now, and, you know, that's exactly what I think everybody would like to see.
Yeah.
I understand, obviously, his dad's just passed, and sorry to hear that, and thoughts are out with him, and I hope that doesn't kind of knock him. But yeah, certainly when I met up with him for maybe half an hour or 40 minutes or something on the Sunday, again, just grabbed a coffee, got a few things signed for a night that's coming up for the charity, and a quick blather, and he was, you know, he's Gaza's Gaza. He just, I says, what did you think of the game? And I don't know if you can swear on this show or not, but anyway,
I have several times. I've sworn already, Graeme.
That's all right then. He didn't think it was the best anyway. He said that the words of that effect, and then, you know, 2 minutes later he's in a story about a changing room with 10 Venables. It was just, you know, vintage Gaza. It was fantastic. But yeah, it's good to see him, you know, healthy and happy, and long may that continue for the man.
Yep,
absolute legend.
So into the second half, on the 46th minute, there was a good move from the left, brilliant cross from Murphy, finding the head of Candias in the box, who had drifted off his marker, forcing an absolute stunning save from the Hibs keeper to put it off over the bar. Really, that we came out the traps flying there, which was good to see. It was needed from the team, and it was a very good save.
Yep, fantastic save, yep.
48th minute, great run with the ball from John, finds Morelos in the box, passes to Windass, who takes a touch too many, and a shot deflected wide. Again, that's back with the too many touches.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, good build-up play, passing well, lost possession, won it straight back again, trying to find her way into the box, and John had a shot just wide. On the 57th minute, it was a free kick on the edge of the box by Goss, curled just over the bar. 61st minute, incredible switch of wings by Goss to Murphy, takes the ball into the box, turns his man, gets the touchline, great lobbed cross from Morelos and heads it just wide. That's Morelos with his bad head again. Needs a haircut. 62nd minute, ball in the back of the net with a header by Morelos after a great free kick from Tavernier. Not too sure again what happened there. Again, RTV never really elaborated very much, and I don't think the commentators knew either. Possibly ruled offside, possibly an infringement in the box because somebody did go down. Again, although there wasn't too many complaints from the players, I don't know if that was maybe a case of the players realising, well, the referees gave the decision, he's not going to change his mind now, so they just get on with it.
I initially thought it was the latter, Graham. Yeah, by watching it, they thought there was an infringement, although you said really nothing in it, because I know I would say it anyway. I certainly thought it should have stood anyway, but I think it was possibly the latter of the two that you thought there.
On the 67th minute, Holt had a shot just wide of the post after deflection. On the 70th minute, Candias and Holt came off and Docherty and Cummins came on, and within 2 minutes we had the ball in the back of the net. It was Goss getting a goal. It was a free kick from 25 yards off the underside of the bar. It kind of came back off the keeper and back into the net. I think it was going in anyway, to be honest, even if it never hit off the keeper.
Yeah,
a fantastic free kick, fantastic.
Yep, and I just thought at that point, Derek, that was us. We were going to go in and get another goal and win the game, because we were so much in the ascendancy. It was incredible at that point.
Yep. And then we threw it all away. Less than a minute later, it was a penalty to Hibs after Allen went down due to Tavernier pushing him with his hands, and he fell to the ground. At the time, I never really got a great view of it, because I think I was texting Dave or something after the goal or something like that. But,
probably.
So obviously I couldn't say what happened, but since seeing it back, it was just a moment of pure madness from Tavernier, considering that Allen was going away from goal as well, and the ball was going nowhere.
Well, see, that for me, that's kind of schoolboy. I mean, you're always taught if you're going away for goal, there's no threat on. Why are you going to, stand off him? You're in danger. Like you say, it's a moment of madness. Why are you going anywhere near him, in the box, going away for goal? And that's the problem with Rangers. They've got to eradicate these mistakes, in my opinion. There's too many of them. But sorry, carry on.
No, absolutely.
You just knew, sorry Derek, you just knew that Allen would go for it the slightest touch. You knew he would be down. You knew he was looking for it right away. And you're screaming, keep your hands down, didn't do anything stupid. And then, the slightest touch, and there wasn't much in it either, Derek, but his hands were up, and Allen goes down very, very easily, and the penalty's given. It really, really silly mistake by Tavernier. I think he knows that now, but just as Graeme says, a complete moment of madness there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They did convert the penalty as well. Foderingham dived the right way. He got to, I think the ball hit off his underside, but it wasn't enough to keep the ball out. And really after that, we controlled the game, but really nothing came close to even a clear-cut chance. I think throughout the main game was the lack of drive from the team in the first half. They just were found wanting, and the second issue I think was the final ball was just diabolical all game. We were severely lacking in that final ball. As I said, trying to take too many touches when we were having a shot, it was off target. There was just something lacking the whole game, and bitterly came back, obviously bitterly disappointed, and I put in the reaction pod I was very angry at that game. And I just a wee shout out to any non-Rangers fans that are listening who commented on the reaction pod. Thanks for boosting our numbers, by the way, because we seem to always get a lot of randoms commenting on it as well. fill your boots if you want to comment, but if there's any non-Rangers fans commenting on our Facebook, on our YouTube page, they just get deleted instantly, so fill your boots.
We're certainly not going to be replying to any of them, Derek, but as you say, thanks again for listening. That's excellent, thank you.
Yep.
I think that's all you can say about that, isn't it?
Aye, just moving on swiftly.
Next game was Tuesday the 6th of February, a 2-0 win away to Partick Thistle. We lined up Fodingham, Tavernier, Bates, Martin, Holt, John, Goss, Candias, Windass, Murphy, and Cummings gets his first start, I believe, as well. On the subs bench, we had Anik, Cardoso, Halliday, Docherty, Dodu, Miller, returning from injury, is on the bench, and Morelos as well.
Yep.
Just get into the game straight away. On the 4th minute, there was a cross from the left-hand side by Partick, finds the attacker in the box on Mark, who has a header which forces a great save from Foderingham, but was ruled offside anyway.
Yep.
7th minute, it was another good save from Foderingham after the ball played through to the Partick attacker. Good tackle by Bates to put the player off. I think that was more of a good tracking by Bates, I should have put there to put him off anyway.
Yep.
24th minute is a great delivery from Goss from a free kick on the left. Martin had a glancing header which went just wide. And on the 30th minute, in kind of shades of the Hibs match, Partick had the ball in the back of the net. It was ruled offside. It was quite tight, I thought, but there was no complaints really from the player, and it was flagged straight away, and Foderingham had a half-hearted attempt to save it anyway, so I don't know what would have happened there if there was no flag ruled anyway.
Yeah.
And then on the 38th minute, we went 1-0 up with Windass. It was good movement from our defence out to Cummins in midfield. Really intelligent ball wide to Candias, who was running. Amazing first time ball on the deck, finds Windass in the box, who put the ball in the back of the net. And obviously we'll get into the fact that he shushed the fans as well with his celebration.
Yeah, it was a fantastic move, Derek. The initial ball out to Candias was outstanding, and then that perfectly weighted cross, low cross, along the ground. We've seen Windass running in, absolutely fantastic. A great goal to watch. I've watched it back a few times. Absolutely brilliant.
And it's a great finish as well. He takes it high right into the roof of the net. So
yeah.
Again, a simple play, simple passes, well weighted, and they cut the team open. And that's what Rangers have got in their locker.
Yeah.
And this is where the frustration comes. As for the shushing the fans, dear.
What's your feelings on that? Because, Derek, me and you have never spoken about this either. So, Graeme, what's your thoughts on this?
Guy, it's one of the ones, right? I think it's rich where the week before the fans can boo the team coming off the park, right? Because they're not happy. And then a week later, he scores a peach and maybe he gives them a bit of, not stick, but a bit of banter, let's say, for lack of a better term back. It's horses for courses. It's one of those ones, if you can dish it out, you've got to take it. But at the end of the day, it must be frustrating. That's what I was saying earlier on. We were talking about the booing and it's not positive. The guys on the park can sense that. And I think that's evidence of it there. They can pick up on these vibes, and then maybe a bit of frustration, maybe a bit of... I don't know.
I'm not personally that bothered about it, but I do think the guy is professional, and maybe it's just because I'm, used to seeing a lot of, superstars have played for my team before, as I wouldn't have expected players from the past to do that to the supporters. So I wouldn't expect him to do that either. So I was a wee bit disappointed. I'm not too bothered about it, because I think the guy's been fantastic for us this season. I really do. And I don't know, Derek, me and you have spoken about it as well. I don't know if a lot of it has to do with when he first came to Rangers, he was poor by his standards, and everybody had made their mind up about him very, very quickly, as we as Rangers fans do. We're very fickle. We make up our minds about a player very quickly, and when Josh Windass was playing under Mark Warburton, he was getting played in the left wing. Again, we've been through all this as well. It wasn't his position, and people made up their mind about him. And I think that a lot of people still have that sort of mindset, whereas this season I think he's been absolutely fantastic for us. So, Lax, are we a wee bit of class, yes. Do I understand his feelings? Yes, I do. Again, as I say, I think a lot of the fans, he would maybe be one of the first players that a lot of the supporters would turn on, you know, just because everything that's happened in the past, which is wrong, totally wrong, but, you know, it's just the way that it is, unfortunately. I just think that, you know, if he was to go back again, I maybe think he would think otherwise about doing that. What's your thoughts on it, Derek?
I'm a lot like Graeme, to be honest. I really don't care, to be honest. It's one of these things where, you know, he's got a bit of stick, he's given a wee bit back because he's playing well and he's scored a good goal, and I think folk are getting too wound up, and I don't know if it's just the age we live in now, because you hear a lot of the opinions on social media, and, you know, that comes out more, and it maybe sounds worse than it is from the fans, that, you know, maybe a lot of people really don't care. It's, maybe ill-advised in the heat of the moment, though, I would say. Maybe emotions have got the better of him after a lot of stick from the previous game. What I don't agree, though, is he put it on social media right after the game. He basically, you know, put that same picture up again, which, in fairness, was what the pictures that the media were running with, and that's maybe the first picture he got his hands on. So I don't know. That was maybe the stupid thing, but it's the social media age we live in these days. That's what players will do. We all know players are not the sharpest tools in the box. I think it's ill-advised, but, you know, there's worse things that have happened to us that I'm going to really be more bothered about than him shushing a couple of fans. So, look, there maybe was a small lack of respect or whatever there, or a lack of class. But see, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of things I've heard getting slung about players at Ibrox, especially in recent times, is they don't look interested, they don't look like they care, they're not that bothered. So you get a guy that's maybe actually saying, you know what, bang, there's a goal. You know what, it shows that he's actually got a bit about him. You know what I mean? That it's got to him, that he's paying attention, that he's in there, and there's maybe a bit of fire behind that. It's a poor reaction.
Okay,
it's a poor reaction, absolutely, but at least there's a bit of fire behind it. Boom, there's a goal. You know, and there's more to come. So it's one of those ones, what would you rather have? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'd like to look at it as it was a bit of a poor decision, but it's maybe came for a little bit of wanting to prove yourself and wanting to get back in this. You look what I can do. There you go. There's a goal. Bang. Top draw. You know, there's maybe an element of that, but he's a young guy as well, and I think he's showing flashes. And if he can, what he can produce, and if he can get consistency there, then fair play. You know, I'll let him off with giving me a shush. Okay, I'll take that. You know, fair enough. I'll take that. Yep.
So, you know, 6 minutes later, we nearly done a Hibs as well. Partick had the ball hit off the post. Connor Salmon tried to place the ball when he got in clear space in the box off the inside of the post, and when I've seen it back, it initially looked as if it was in off the post and in, but fortunately it went off the post and out. So bit of a let off there, because he drifted clear into space and he managed to get the shot off. So. But anyway, we did survive the first half, going 1-0 up. I know I've kind of talked about a few of the points there, but I kind of summarised it by saying there's a bit of an insipid performance. Partick started the brighter than a couple of chances. Both teams largely cancelled each other out. I know I've kind of put a lot of chances for us there, but that was my interpretation of the first half. Into the second half, before it kicked off, John came off and Halliday came on. It was a direct replacement. Apparently, John taken ill for some reason. I don't know what the outcome of that was. And apparently, according to Tom Miller, that Halliday did actually start his career at left back, so it wasn't that an outlandish position to put him off in the first place. So.
Because to be fair, Derek, he actually played quite solidly in that position. You know, when he came on in the second half, he certainly didn't look out of place there.
No. So in the 51st minute, it was good work by Tavernier to Murphy, back to Tavernier, who tried to lift it over the keeper and the defender, but he ran out of space. And then we went 2-0 up on the 58th minute with Tavernier. He picks the ball up, picks a difficult ball up on the halfway line, takes the ball forward, passes to Windass, who passes back, which is slightly behind Tavernier, picks the ball up and hits a lovely dinked shot, which looped over the keeper and into the back of net. An absolutely cracking goal from Tavernier.
I thought at first, Derek, I thought it must have taken a deflection because he did hit it. It just kind of he hit it really hard, but it floated right over and then down at the last minute. I thought it must have taken a deflection, but as you say, I just think it was the way he was off balance when he hit it. But an absolute fantastic strike by him, for that position, absolutely brilliant.
Aye, and it's one of the things that Tavernier's got in his locker as well.
Yep.
He's a good player. He's capable of hitting a goal like that. But yeah, it was a fantastic shot. It was a well-worked move, resulting in a fantastic goal. So, it was one I didn't see coming, I'm not going to lie to you.
No,
same, yeah. Middle, but it was a peach. It was another top draw. 2 excellent goals.
Yep. 63rd minute, it was a great defending by Bates, and then plays an absolutely incredible ball to Murphy. He got the ball, but it was tackled. Cummins ran in, picked the ball up, kept going, ran into the box. The keeper came out. He got the ball, but he injured himself, or allegedly injured himself in the process. Cummins did ride the tackle, and then more or less jumped over the keeper. The goal was left exposed, but then the ref flagged for a foul. I don't think it was a foul in the first place because Cummins actually jumped over the keeper, and the keeper, as I said, appeared to injure himself. So a wee bit of protection for keepers there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then really from the rest of the game we controlled it, but really no a lot happened. All I've got here in the last few minutes was in the 80th minute Cummins came off, Morelos came on, and in the 86th minute Candias came off and Docherty came on. So good victory, and especially after the back of the Hibs result, it's something we needed to boost ourselves because going to Partick isn't the easiest sometimes. So.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Derek. You'll never ever get an easy game at Partick regardless where they're playing in the league. It's always going to be a really difficult fixture for us, so I was delighted. The fact that they won and the fact that we got a clean sheet as well is superb. And another, I thought David Bates again, absolutely outstanding. I think this guy's been a total star for us. I said it in the last pod as well, but flawless again by him. I think he's superb.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a lot of social media commenting, maybe before the last couple of games there, but people getting on Bates's back and calling out, saying he's not a defender and really kind of deriding him. I don't know where this came from, because apart from a couple of incidents, a couple of games, he's been fantastic, I think.
Graeme, me and Derek have spoken about this with David Bates. I think ever since Bates came in, just before the Celtic game, I think the guy's been absolutely phenomenal. A colossus in defence. There's nothing has got past him. There's nobody, out-jumped him. He's won absolutely everything. I think he's building up a really good partnership now in defence, and I just think he's been brilliant. But I think again, a lot of it goes back to a same with the Windass thing when Bates played his first ever game for Rangers. He had a few dodgy back passes. He cost us a goal, in one of the match. And people there's a lot of fans just don't seem to be able to get past that, because I think he's been absolutely brilliant.
For me, there's a lot of this at Rangers just now. He's a talent. He's a talent with a lot of potential. He's a big, strong lad. He's confident, which I like. But for me, sometimes it just comes down to concentration. I think that comes with maturity and experience. For example, the Kilmarnock game for boys, Kenny goal, the ball got crossed in. Bates was kind of just jogging. I remember that kind of sticking out, and he was just kind of jogging back as the ball got crossed in, very kind of lackadaisical. And I do actually remember saying that at the time, because I might be sounding all calm and nice here, but when I watch the games, I'm maybe more passionate, shall we say, with a far poorer vocabulary. But
yeah,
at the end of I remember that sticking out. But God almighty, the guy's young. He's one mistake. Whereas if you look at all the good tackles he puts in, the positioning, the tracking back, the play, the passing for such a young boy and a defender, I think you're right, Dave. I think there's one or two mistakes get made, and they seem to cling on to these things, not all the fans, obviously, just one or two, but
a lot of them. Yep.
Aye, he's a talent, there's no doubt, and he's one that has got a big future, and he certainly am a fan of Bates, and I think he can go far in the game. For me, it's just concentration. But that look, tell me any young player at any level that's broke through, that's kind of got that level of maturity, concentration at a young age, that comes with games.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? And it's like anything else, Windass, etc. But no, definitely a talent. I'm a fan. I think he's a great asset for the club. And to be honest, Rangers have got a lot of assets at the club now.
Yeah,
they really, really do. McCrory and Windass, Bates. There's a lot of players there that could go on to turn into really big players for the club, which is what we need right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
and that's
so. No, I like Bates.
And that's the thing, you're talking about assets and young players, and that's with a completely mismanaged youth system for the past, however long as well. So it's really, absolutely, really encouraging to see that the fact that these players are starting to come through again. So
yeah.
Into the last game we've got here, it's going to be probably another long commentary on this, given the fact that there was 7 goals in it.
Yeah.
It was Sunday the 11th of February, away to Ayr United in the Scottish Cup 5th round. We'll end up Foderingham, Tavernier, Bates, Martin, John, Goss, Docherty getting his first start, Murphy, Windass, Cummings and Morelos. Interesting note to note, obviously, the Cummings and Morelos playing together for the first time, starting for the first time anyway, which we all want to see. On the subs bench we had Kelly. I think there must have been some sort of injury or illness with Anik for him not to be playing in the first game, because obviously he normally gets the cup games.
Yeah.
Cardoso, Halliday, Holt, Candias, Miller and Herrera. On the 9th minute, John got the ball on the left, drove it forward, cut inside, hits a shot in the box just wide of the left-hand post. And in another moment of madness, on the 10th minute, Ayr got their first goal, first and only goal of the game. It was a pass back well outside of the box, and I've heard a lot of people complaining Bates should have never played a pass back. That's utter rubbish, because it was well down to Foderingham this. He took a horrible touch inside his own 6-yard box, tried to take the player on, lost the ball. Ayr player got in there and got the ball, slide tackled the ball into the back of the net. It's something that I've never been comfortable with Foderingham doing. He always seems to try and take the extra touch, try and be the sweeper keeper, and he's been lucky with it a few times, and he was caught out this time, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a bit of a disaster for him. Nothing wrong with the pass back at all. It was a safe distance that he passed it back to him. No pressure, but as you say, a poor touch, and the Ayr attacker saw what was happening before it happened, I think, and slid in, and unfortunately it went in. And I know you had a few, I'll not read out your text messages you sent me, Derek, after that one, but just let's say that you weren't happy with Wes Foderingham at that point. Well, that's all we'll say on that point.
I think you've covered that quite well. I think all I would say would be always. It's one of those ones, guys. It's look, I think it turned into a 6-1 victory, so it's one of those ones you can maybe look back on and go, Jesus, what a mistake that was, and you can kind of forget about it. But if that had been in a bigger game, guys, what I mean, it's that kind of thing. But look,
yes,
that happens, and that's all I've got to say on that. Always. But we'll move on. We'll take it from there. It was a howler. We must admit, I'll not want to look back on that very often. I wouldn't think.
Certainly not. 25th minute was patient build-up. Tavernier gets the ball down the right-hand side, puts a great cross in. Windass came running in and had a bullet of a header off the bar. Came back out to us, another cross in, and the player couldn't get to it. This was one of these times when you thought, we've had a howler of a mistake to let a goal in. We've hit the bar. This is going to be one of these games where just nothing goes right for us. And fortunately, I was proved wrong anyway. In fact, it was maybe after this moment here, 28th minute, Morelos with an absolute howler of a miss from 2 yards with an open goal. Good work from Bates on the right hand side. Great cross to Morelos in space. He was possibly offside, I'm not too sure. Granted, the ball did take a bobble, however, he took a kick and ballooned it over the bar.
Yeah.
It was worse than Van Vossen for me.
I mean, that's poor Van Vossen. That's all I can say, because we all lived through that miss, and anybody who now misses an open goal in Scottish football is going to be referred to as another Van Vossen. But it was a bad miss from him, and was it at that point, Derek, that I had texted you. Because something that the commentators had said, that at that point that David Bates was the only outfield player not to have had an effort on goal. Was at that point that I texted you, which showed the complete domination of our team, and we still couldn't score, no even for 2 yards. So as you said, Derek, at that point we were like, oh my God, is this going to turn into a horror show? Is it just not going to happen? But thankfully it wasn't to be.
I had the threats of being a long afternoon, guys, but it's the same with Wes. You know, you look back on it 6-1 later and you can almost have a chuckle at it. You know what I mean? Through your fingers as you're watching it again. It is a bad one, but you can have a chuckle at it now. But again, like I say, another game, and I think that's Rangers' issues for me. Things like that, you know, eradicating these small mistakes and putting it away and not making the mistakes for the bigger games like your Celtics and your top six. You know, that's kind of it. Personified for me. But anyway, carry on, sir.
Yep. Fortunately, and 2 minutes later, Morelos did make up for it though, and he scored to make it 1-1. Good work down the right hand side, good cross in, ball cleared to Goss, who had a shot from 25 yards, rattled the bar. It was some shot, by the way. Out to Morelos, who had a shot from 6 yards into the back of net. So always forgiven after that miss, wasn't it?
But Derek, you know, it'd be fair to him. It came, you know, rocketing back off the bar, and he hit it first time on the volley right into the top corner, and you know it was sort of to the left hand side of the you know the goal as well. And you say to yourself, my God, what an incredible finish! How the hell did he miss that one before? Because it was absolutely brilliant finish. But that's what I like about Morelos. He's not the type of guy that his head's going to go down if he misses a chance like that. Because for him to put that away just shows you that the guy's confidence is sky high, and that's what I really like about him.
Yep, and then after he scored that, he went running to the fans, pointing at his ear. So we've got a lot of Rangers fans pointing at their facial features over the last few games. Windass giving it the lips and Morelos giving it the ear. But one's viewed as sacrilege, the other is viewed as banter. I think that sums the whole thing up for me. But an absolute top-class finish, top draw once again, and the boy's a talent. He really is a talent, I must admit.
Do you think the next time one of our players scores, it's going to be shoulders, knees and toes next?
Possibly.
I'd love to see somebody giving it the eyes. So if any right, just point
you heard it here first.
That would be great. We'll find it if any of the guys listen. The eyes next, please, guys.
On the 36th minute, it was good play, ending up down the right hand side with Morelos. Cuts it back, hits a shot, but the defender managed to get a leg to it and the keeper guarded it up. 41st minute, corner in from the left, ball ends up falling to Cummings on the far right hand side. Hits a rasping shot and a good save from the keeper. And then it went into half time, and then the snow completely started pelting down, and there was actually a pitch inspection towards the end of half time, because there was a real threat that it might get abandoned because couldn't see the lines. They did manage to kick off, and more or less instantly the snow decided to clear up, so no danger there. 47th minute, it was a quick break forward. The ball got played out to the left to Murphy, puts in a good ball in on the deck, but intercepted by a defender who puts it out for the corner. 53rd minute, ball lifted over Tavernier's head on the edge of our box. Ayr player running in, picks up the ball into space. Fodenier made a good save after coming out to narrow the angle. 56th minute, Goss had a shot from 20 yards and it was just wide of the left hand post. 58th minute, Windass gets the ball on the right, puts a low driving cross in, touched out for the corner by the keeper. 60th minute, ball in the back of the net after great play by Cummings, takes the ball inwards, hits a shot, good save for the keeper, but spilled. Murphy there to pick up the ball and put it in, but it was ruled offside. I think he started off in an offside position when Cummings hit the shot. And then we did actually go 2-1 up in the 65th minute. It was Cummings who finally gets a goal. Short corner out to Goss, puts in a great cross. Cummings with a backheel flick with the outside of his boot into the back of net. Great finish and an even better celebration, wasn't it?
The finish was absolute class. That's just the tiniest wee chance there. Again, it takes you back to days when McCoy was sort of poaching about the box there, getting anything a wee flick on, but it was absolute class how he sort of flicked it round with his left foot past the goalkeeper. Nobody had any idea where it was. Absolutely brilliant by him, superb, and really pleased for him. As you say, the guy, celebration, and this is a character and a half that we've got here. It really is.
I must admit, I'm liking him more and more that I'm seeing him not just as a player but as the banter as well. I must admit, he's exactly what Rangers need right now, and it was an instinctive reaction for that goal. It was an easy one to take. He done well. Just as a matter of point, Dave, when you said it was taking you back. I thought you were going to mention back to the days of Grangemouth Rovers and me playing up front then. no, you went for McCoist. So right, fair play. I'll give you that. I'm a little bit hurt, but we'll get over it.
Maybe goals against us, Graeme.
Well, listen, as long as it's scored with style and panache, it's a cracker. But no, look, another one that's that's what I'm saying. The Rangers just now, how many talented guys we've got, you know. Morelos, we were talking earlier on about Bates and Crowley and Windass, and you've got Morelos, and you've now got Cummings in the mix. So it's definitely a bright future. But yeah, fantastic finish, taking it brilliantly.
Yep. And 3 minutes later, we went 3-1 up, and it was Windass this time. Murphy drove the ball into the box, passed to John on the left, who tried a shot at an angle, saved by the foot of the keeper, fell to Windass, and then side-footed it into the bottom right corner. Very well taken goal as well, because good to see the vision from him there.
Yeah, no, he was excellent. He was a constant threat all game, Graeme, and we've been talking about him at length earlier on, but a constant goal threat for us in that match, Derek. And again, a great chance for him to score. He took his chance when it came, and then after that again, it was just I thought it was just Windass for the whole of the match. After that, he seemed to be at the centre of everything.
Absolutely, and again, though, it's one of the things that when Rangers do finally click, they are a joy to behold, and it was just kind of. It could be that Rangers were clicking and on fire there, or Ayr United started to fall apart. But yeah, absolutely. Again, it's good to see him grab another goal for sure.
Yep, and we rounded off the 6 minutes of magic by scoring another goal in the 71st minute, and it was Morelos getting his second. Morelos had a great ball from the halfway line out to Murphy on the right. Ball ran to the touchline. He passed it back to Morelos on the edge of the box, who passed it back to Murphy, who then cut it back to Morelos again, who only had to tap it in from the empty net. Great move started from Morelos as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, you could see what he was looking at, Derek, straight away. He could tell what he was wanting to do, and if you just watch his movement, as soon as he plays the ball, getting right in, and into the centre at the back of the goal, just to put the tap in, and they had great play all round and great awareness by the players round about him. Really, really good goal.
Yep, absolutely, agree with that.
Yep, and then a few people was disappointed to see him coming off, but Morelos came off on the 75th minute, and so did Cummings as well. Miller gets his first start since he got injured, gets his first piece of action since he got injured, and Candias came on as well. Obviously, people disappointed to see Morelos coming off because he was on a hat-trick, and Ayr were on a hiding to nothing at this point.
Yeah.
And then we did go 5-1 up on the 80th minute. Windass getting his second of the game. Short corner to Goss. Great floated in ball. Finds the head of Windass and into the back of the net. So fantastic to see him getting another goal. Just after that, he came off 3 minutes later and Andy Halliday came on. 85th minute, John plays the ball on the deck from the left. Defender sticks out the leg and goes goal bound. Hits off the post along the line. Keeper manages to smother the ball and keep it from going into the back of the net. And we rounded out the game on the 88th minute with potentially the pick of the bunch. Went 6-1 up with Murphy getting the goal. He picked the ball up from the halfway line, drove the ball forward. Defender tracking him but couldn't keep up. Hits a shot from 10 yards and into the back of the net. Keeper didn't even move because he was that flat-footed.
That's it. That was a bit that I was laughing at. I was watching the game with my son, and we were laughing because the goalkeeper just knew as soon as it came off his foot, the goalie thought there's absolutely no point in me even making a move for this because it's going right in the bottom corner. So absolutely brilliant, and for him, a great moment for him as well, scoring his first goal for Rangers. You could see how delighted he was with that.
So that kind of rounds up the games we've got to cover here. Just in terms of the league table, we're sitting in third. We've played 26, won 15, drew 4, lost 7, scored 48, conceded 28, goal difference plus 20, and points 49. 3 points behind Aberdeen, 11 points behind Celtic, and 5 ahead of Hibs. In terms of the games to come, we are playing away to Hamilton on Sunday the 18th of February. That's a 14:15 kick-off. Saturday the 24th of February at home to Hearts. That's a 1500 kick-off. And Tuesday the 27th of February away to St Johnstone, and that's a 1945 kick-off. And Dave, and I'm pretty sure you, Graeme, will be pleased to know as well, we obviously set up a quarter-final home tie against Falkirk.
Yeah, that's against us. Graeme, you know my feelings about that football club, and both of us have quite a number of mutual friends that are big Falkirk fans that have been giving it lulled at us over the past few seasons and stuff like that. So I'm delighted to get them, and I really hope that the Rangers that we know turn up that night and give them a complete and utter roasting.
Yep. I'll shorten all of that to I hope they get pumped. But yep, absolutely.
Couldn't have put that better myself.
Certainly be a nice moment. It give me a lot of ammunition for a lot of, like I say, so-called and mixed friends, Dave. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's a good draw. It'll be a good game, and we just, like you say, if the right Rangers team turn up, it'll be a cracking match. Looking forward to it.
So that leaves us now, and we will go into the classic match.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
I've been looking forward to this one.
Okay.
So, Dave, you've got a game that we've previously covered,
yes,
but it was on request of our good friend Graeme here.
Yeah, it was. We've said that before, Derek. Any time that we were going to have any guests on, it was going to be a match of their choosing. And we had Stagsy on a few weeks ago who wanted to do Helicopter Sunday. We did that, and when I spoke to Graeme, this was the first game that he came up with straight away. He says, "Look," he says, "I've watched this game back numerous times. It's a game that I always remember." The game itself, was taking place 26th of March 2000, and it was a match against Celtic at Ibrox. Now, Graeme, this was a game that you requested. Any special reasons for, that you wanted this game to be covered?
It's just, it's one, guys, that sticks in the memory. It was a fantastic. I mean, look, first and foremost, it was an awesome time, at Rangers. You had the likes of Reina, Amoruso, Newman, Kanchelskis, Alberts, Van Bronckhorst, two guys. You were spoilt for talent, and what you wouldn't give to have one of those players back in the team just now, or somebody of that ability. And it was one of those games, and I remember it's just one, you'll know yourselves, guys, you'll have your own favourites, but there's certain games that just stick out in your mind, not just for the goals or the result, but the actual game itself. And you've got to remember the Celtic team we played that day. It was a team with Moravchik and Lambert, and it wasn't one of the poorer Celtic sides. And we beat them 4-0. And I just remember being at Ibrox that day, and I just remember every time a blue shirt was on the ball, you just felt something was going to happen. Yeah, and it could have been 10 that day. It really could have been.
I'm thinking back, Graeme. I'm sure after that result, I'm sure we were all out in a big group celebrating that night as all the Rangers fans that we went about with, because it was such a fantastic performance. The actual team that day that Rangers lined up was Kloss in goals, and a back four of Claudio Reina right back, Lorenzo Amoruso and Scott Wilson playing in centre half, Arthur Newman at left back, Kanchelskis on the right, Alberts on the left of Van Bronckhorst, and Barry Ferguson in the centre of midfield, and then up front Billy Dodds and Rod Wallace. As you say, the Celtic team that day had some big names. Mark Viduka up front, Lubomir Moravchik, Paul Lambert, Mialbe. It was Jonathan Gould in goals, who was actually a very good goalkeeper, but obviously back, as you say, in those times we were dominating. So, as Graeme said, the Rangers had won the game very comfortably, and the first goal only took us 3 minutes to take the lead. A corner that was taken by Van Bronckhorst over the back. It was headed back into the middle by Andre Kanchelskis, and George Alberts was there from about one yard out just to steamroller in and fire the header in. Great start to the match, and just the start of things to come for us, Graeme. It was a fantastic. We couldn't believe that we'd actually taken the game by the scruff of the neck so early. The second goal that we scored after that, after a lot of possession played by Rangers, a lot of chance, actually happened in the 40th minute, where Van Bronckhorst picked up a loose ball just about the centre spot. He picked it up, spotted Andre Kanchelskis racing through on the right-hand side and just played a sort of fantastic ball to him. And nobody could keep up with him. He flew through there, kept his head. Gould sort of rushed out and just slotted past him to the right-hand side, for us to go 2-0 up just before half-time. Absolutely brilliant. And I think at that point, Graeme, you'll agree, even the supporters and the team were just, the confidence was just supreme at that point. We knew that we were going to go out and get a few more goals after that. I mean, if you can remember back, we could just sense it at half-time.
100%. I mean, like I say, that game there could have been 10. It's just every time a Rangers boy got a blue shirt got on the ball, it's just you sense something could happen. I think we went over the back. Alberts tried to chip the keeper. Fergie nearly chipped the keeper. It was relentless. It would have been a truly horrible game for the Celtic fans to endure.
Yeah,
it really would. It was, but for ourselves, it was. That's what I'm saying. That's why that game stuck out for me. The game as a whole, not just the goals. The goals are fantastic. The game as a whole, we truly played them off the park.
And the incredible thing was that we actually didn't score another goal until about 6 minutes before the end of the game. We were so much on top, but we managed. We scored the third goal. I know, again, a great goal, even though it wasn't that far out, Alberts, but it was Van Bronckhorst to McCann. He gets to the byline. Jonathan Gould comes out. He beats Gould and he clips the ball into the centre of the box. And there's Alberts, but he was completely off balance. And how he still managed to sort of hook the ball into the net off balance for such a guy with a big frame. Absolutely fantastic. Improvisation from him to score the third goal. And then the icing on the cake for us was Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. It was two guys who came on and he put an incredible ball on the right-hand side for Kanchelskis. Gets to the edge of the box. He puts the ball back to Rod Wallace, who, to be fair to Rod Wallace, had a bit of a shocker that game, which wasn't like him because he had quite a few chances he couldn't score. He had a shot. It was charged down, but only to Van Bronckhorst in the edge of the box. And what can you say about Van Bronckhorst? Absolute class. He just turns and picks his spot for the edge of the box and fires an incredible curled shot past the goalkeeper. Sensational. Van Bronckhorst, Alberts, all these guys, as you said before, Graeme, absolute superstars, and what we would do to have any of these guys back in the team just now. And I think we forget, me and Derek have spoken about this guy a lot, but I think we forget about how good Van Bronckhorst actually was for us. The guy was absolutely sensational, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. It's one of those players that I think people forget. Oh, you've just summed it up. I'm just repeating what you said, but just people forget how good a player he actually was. I mean, you look at the career when he left us, with the clubs he went on to play for, but and the cups and achievements he went on to win. But sheer class, brilliant player, pulled the strings, pass a ball, can finish. Just a complete midfielder. But it was funny that he went on and I think he played left back for Barcelona when he was there, did he not?
And Arsenal, that's and Holland as well. Because again, he got to the World Cup semi-final playing as a left back for Holland. So it just shows you we would never have thought that he'd have been there because he was such an effective midfielder. I know we covered this before, Derek, but again, as I say, just a chance for folk to go back and have a look at that game if they missed the commentary the first time round. Some absolutely sensational players on show, and everything just clicked that day. And even going back to Lorenzo Amoruso playing in defence alongside Scott Wilson, a young guy at the time, and Big Lorenzo just breezed at that game. Absolutely fantastic.
What I find incredible is next month that game is 18 years old.
Is that right? That's scary.
Thanks for that.
So it is,
always ending a high, eh? That was an 18-year-old. Jesus.
That game is. If I was to half my age, that game's still older than me. Then that's what's weird.
There you go.
I'm just rubbing it in.
Exactly.
And that bombshell. No, it was a great time. It was spoilt for kind of players and matches and cups won and trophies back then. Truly was you kind of appreciate now, I think.
Yeah, I think that was a big reason that Derek and I decided to do the classic match section, because when we started off the pod, Derek, we were going through a really sort of bad times, and it's always great to look back on and see some of the players that have played for us in the past, and it's great, especially how Derek can find the commentary for the matches and put it into the my commentary as well. It's just been an absolute joy to do, and again, anybody listening, just go back and watch that game. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll now move into the news.
From ITN, the ITV News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
Right, just a couple of bits and pieces here to cover in the news. The main one you've got to say is that we now have a banking facility. Organisation called Close Brothers, who are a merchant banking group. Banking, I said there. They've got an arrangement with them, and it's worth up to £3 million. As Stuart Robertson said, it's not a massive facility, but it's more about the vote of confidence that a company has in our club. And as usual, the crazies from the east side of the city have been saying that we're skint. Also tweeting the email addresses for contacts for the Close Brothers to make people aware of the state that our club's in. We've had lots of tax experts again on. We've had lots of financial experts, and when I tried to I've put this on Twitter, when one of them tried to highlight the fact that, oh no, this is a clear indication that Rangers are skint, I said to her, well, go and show me a picture of your financial qualification degree then, and then we can really see what you actually mean. She blocked me straight away, so...
That's unbelievable. Derek, how can you even question these people? I mean, come on. It's we've had. I mean, there's more tax experts for the east side of Glasgow than there's any other city in the whole of the world at this moment in time. It's incredible. But the lengths, we've been saying this for a long time, Graeme, and I don't know if you've seen a lot of the stuff in social media, but the lengths that opposition fans will go to is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the biggest point for me was a few weeks ago when we saw the email that had been sent to this Chinese club, who apparently were looking for, that were interested in Morelos, and somebody got an email address for them and was sending them all sorts, and then it turns out that it was actually the wrong club in China that they had been sending the emails to. So it's absolutely incredible. So it is.
Well, I mean, they need a hobby. Look, at the end of the day, if it keeps them happy, then all be it. But it's one of these things, guys. It's either good banter or but yeah, there's a definite obsession there.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's kind of 50 Shades for me, which I just want to avoid, to be honest. A 50 Shades obsession. I'll avoid that with my missus and avoid it with them. So they can carry on mailing clubs and telling them about the dire straits we're in to their heart's content, to be fair. As long as we can get it together on the park, we'll kind of do our talking there, I think. That's the best way to answer it. Always has been. And I feel we're getting a little bit...
Sorry, Graeme, I'm thinking 50 Shades of Grey, but is that not your average a Celtic top? The colour of it, no?
Is it 50? Sorry. And you're going to get me linked.
And it stems from the Celtic, the club as well, because they put a tweet out today on the back of Zenit St Petersburg. Obviously they're playing them in Europe this week, and obviously they were highlighting the game with Celtic, and Celtic had to retweet them back about, it's praise for your most important or your best European result ever, and that was obviously the hashtag Manchester 2008. This obsession stems from the club, never mind the fans. So but never mind talking about them again anyway.
Exactly.
Again, we have now opened up talks with James Tavernier apparently about a new deal. He's actually contracted to the summer of 2019 anyway, but they are hoping to extend that even further, and the rumours that are coming out today is it's going to be a 3.5 year deal he's going to sign, so that will keep him till I think 2020 or something like that, 2021. So
it's great news, Derek, because I don't think for a minute if Tavernier keeps playing the way that he is for us, that he'll be with us for that length of time, but it puts us in a very strong position if any teams do come in for him, that we could basically agree, a sort of high fee for him, and the way that he has been playing this season, you know, he's been fantastic, and there must be a lot of people, you know, clubs down south and stuff that are watching that situation, and they'll be saying to themselves, now if that is the case, oh well, we would have to pay top dollar for him. So no, it's great for us. It puts us in a really good position with him, and it shows also that he must be you know, enjoying himself, and I think he's one of the players that stepped up majorly since Graeme Murty's came in, and showing that, I mean, he gave him the captain's armband in the last game, so it shows you that he's you know, put his trust in him also.
Yep, I'm a fan of Tavernier. Have been for day dot, to be honest. I know there's a lot of people say he doesn't defend enough or doesn't track back, but for me, again, and you're another player that's still developing, if you ask me, and he's another one of the players that I think can offer a lot going forward. He gives you a lot of options. I mean, I'll take your opinion on it, guys, but I don't think he's quite as bad in the defensive stroke as what he's made out to be. I don't know what your take on it is.
I certainly look back to the Celtic game at Parkhead when I thought he was absolutely sensational, both defending and attacking. He was absolutely brilliant. I think it just comes down to, again, going back to your point originally, Graeme, what Tavernier turns up. Certainly defensively, anyway, I don't think any of us have got any gripes. Derek, we've said it a lot on his attacking play. It has just been his defending, but certainly this season I think there's been a big improvement.
Yeah, he's stepped up his game, especially from last year in defence. First season, obviously, you can't really take much out of it for the fact that it was in the Championship. Last year, disappointing from every player, really. And this season, attacking and defensively, he's just been immense. So, no issues about him getting a new deal at all. And as you said, that it'll shore up any future fees you know, if he does go. So. Yep. Next one here, Aidan Wilson has joined Dumbarton on emergency loan. It wasn't reported how long it's actually for, but it's due to Dumbarton being short in players apparently. So good to see him getting a wee game there. Next player, Bruno Alves, is back in training. So I don't know what that will mean for the likes of Bates and all that, but I don't know what.
Well, that's it. That's a tough one. I mean, Derek, we've spoken about it a lot. I think both of us are desperate for Alves, or we were desperate for Alves to do well, because it's such a big name player, and he looks the part. And we saw, I mean, the game that we were at together, the Aberdeen match, 1-3-0, we thought Alves was absolutely fantastic. I don't know if a lot of that had to do with the fact that McCrory was playing in front of him right enough, because I think we've missed McCrory big time, which is quite scary for such a young guy. But if he is now back fully fit, what do you do? Do you shoehorn him into the team, which you know you're not supposed to do, or do you put him in for Bates? Do you think Bates has had too much game time for him being a young guy, you know, after what we've just been saying about how well he's been playing? What do you actually do with him? Do you play him, or do you know?
Alves, it's kind of a tricky one for me. A player of that calibre with that experience coming into the team, I thought would have had a bigger influence and impact than what he has. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to him coming in now, it's one of those ones where if the team's, but this is we could spend all night on this. This is the endless problem with Rangers. They can go out and they can play well without Alves in the team, and then you think things are moving on and they're maybe going to get a bit of a run, and then they go and have a howler or drop points, and then that kind of welcomes and opens the door for Alves to return to the team. Does that make sense? So it's one of the ones where I don't see. I'm really quite disappointed, to be honest, because when we signed him, I thought that's a great coup.
Yep,
that's a fantastic coup. And I thought, you know, that boy's going to go in the centre defence and he's going to guide the young players on, and what a difference he's going to make. Now, I'm not knocking Alves by any stretch of the imagination, but I just haven't seen that calibre of performance, and I haven't seen that influence and that leadership. I just haven't seen it. Now, I might be wrong. It's all about opinions.
And but, again, Derek, we spoke about after the game at Parkhead, and since then we spoke about Bates. I'm going to go on about Bates again, but we said that if that had been Alves that had played like that, we would have been saying that's the Bruno Alves that we've been looking for. That's the type of player that we've been looking. That's how well David Bates has played, in my opinion. That's what we would say. That's the reason that we brought this guy in. He's so assured, he's so strong, he's so confident. And as Graeme said there, he's not shown enough of that for me. Derek, do you feel the same way, or what would your solution be? Because I know a lot of people have been talking about a back three, possibly. Would you go there?
I think that certainly if he gets back to full fitness, Alves, he needs to earn his place in the team. Nobody's a stick on, I don't think. And certainly in terms of his play, from when we've seen him, I agree with Graeme, he's been disappointing. I think certainly from jumping up for headers, I've never seen anybody header a ball, or the percentage of the amount of headers he gets is phenomenal, absolutely. But in terms of his overall defensive play, disappointing, I've got to say. Certainly from the reported fee commands for his wages. A lot of, there's a lot of rumours there that he might be just using us as a vehicle to get to the World Cup, because obviously given his age, this will be his last World Cup. But if he surely you've got to play though, and play well to be considered for a team like Portugal, because they're no short in class players, Exactly. So I think every player needs to earn their place. Nobody's a stick on. If we've got a settled defence as it is the now, and I know that there's been some issues and there's mistakes, but a lot of the issues have been individual mistakes that have cost us. So you cut that out, then you've got a steady defence. So he needs to earn it.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one here is just on the back of what Graeme was saying about Jason Cummins, his attitude and his bit of banter he brings to the team as well. He's been challenged by WWE superstar Matt Hardy. It stems from Grado and his wrestling match with Cummins when he was playing for Hibs, and then there was a tweet back and forwards after he signed for Rangers, culminating Cummins in an interview joking that he's going to join with Grado for a tag team and take on the Hardy Boys. And then Hardy's obviously picked up on that and said, "This man," pointing to Cummins and Grado, "you've been singled out for deletion," which is his thing, that he's going to beat them up and all that kind of thing. So fantastic, and a good bit of banter there as well.
Well, again though, but I think a story you've missed out here though, Derek, with in connection to Jason Cummings, and I actually find this quite worrying, is the fact that Jason Cummings' dog has got its own Instagram page. If you go and look at it,
don't say his dog's called Cum.
No, his dog is called Baby Carlos.
Oh.
And it is, he's had several pictures taken with the dog, and I'm actually looking at the Instagram page just now. Baby Carlos, 35. He's had 14 posts, and have a guess how many roughly, and we'll see how many to the nearest 1,000 that he's get. How many followers do you think Baby Carlos has got, Derek?
1690.
No. Graeme?
5,000.
You're almost there. 5,904 followers for Baby Carlos, 35.
I'm one of them guys. That's how I knew it was. Didn't want to say anything there. You were getting up from my wee Baby Carlos fascination there, so I was quiet. But that's how I got the 5,000. But yep.
Wait, can we just confirm you're actually following us on Twitter and Instagram?
Absolutely.
Probably no.
Listen, guys, I've got a busy day. I've got Carlos and I've got Baby. I can't follow everybody. You know what I mean?
That is quite worrying that a bulldog has got more followers than what we do, Derek. That's actually quite worrying.
Yeah. I'll leave that there. Next one here is your former player El Hadj Diouf is looking to run for the presidency of Senegal. He's obviously taken George Weah's presidency run and win.
My God.
Inspiration.
He's got my vote, guys. He's got my vote.
Well,
what do you think? Do you think he's got propaganda pictures up everywhere? He's Scott Brown and stuff like that. What do you think?
I think that man's got quite a few worrying photos stashed away in different places. But I didn't know that, but it's one I want to think about again.
Well, I think it might have taken his run might have taken a dunt straight away, because 3 days after that story broke, he was arrested by Senegalese police for allegedly threatening to kidnap and kill someone, and has since been released.
Oh, he's got a great career in politics ahead of him, I'll tell you that.
So there you go. You've got Donald Trump, you've got Kim Jong-un in South Korea, and El Hadji Diouf in Senegal. There you go.
Yep. World War III is coming. Absolutely. Oh, it beggars belief.
So, next story here I've got.
Oh, here we go. Right.
Guy gets his penis stuck jumping over tube station barriers. Sometimes in life you have days where everything goes perfectly and you end up feeling like a superhero. Then there are times when you try and hurdle the gates at London Underground and get your genitals stuck in the barriers. Hilariously, that's exactly what happened to this young man when he apparently tried to jump over the barriers to avoid paying. It left him in an extremely compromising position and a lot of pain, and needed police officers and Transport for London workers to pull him out. Thankfully it wasn't pull him off there.
Hey, it must be pretty blooming pleased with yourself if you're having to get all these folk to prize him free. He must be bragging about that majorly. Is this another one of your Lorenzo Amoruso stories here, Graeme?
Well, I'm not commenting on that, I'll tell you. I have no idea, and that's how that will stay.
Okay.
Well, the thing about this is the Transport for London workers decided to film it during the horrendously embarrassing public moment.
Genius.
Onlookers, there was a crowd of people at this point, onlookers were shouting, "Get some butter him up." As you do.
Oh, real life.
Exactly.
So that kind of wraps up the podcast this week. So, Graeme, have you got any further plugs to give out? You want to give your charity a good shout out again?
Yeah, well, absolutely. We've got it's actually sold out. I didn't want to kind of tease people with it. Unfortunately, it's been a great night on the 9th. But I'm looking. There are a couple of other Rangers themed nights. I've got one at least. I'm going to be doing in 2018. It'll be a smaller event, probably in Walkabout in Glasgow, so if people keep their eyes peeled to the Epic page, and I'm looking to do another big dinner in 2019 early, probably about March, and I'm always trying to top the one I've done before, so I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, like I say, anyone out there with a worthwhile charity or cause, get in touch with Epic and we'll see if we can support you, and certainly if you're Rangers fans, then please follow the page, because we're looking to do some exciting things over the next 12 to 18 months.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So, just if you want to, I don't know how to follow a charity now, but if you want to have a wee look at our pages as well, it is our website is at ireadypodcast.wordpress.com. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/ireadypod. Our Twitter is at ireadypod. We have Instagram as well as we have got YouTube channel as well. Obviously, I've not had a chance to do the post-match reactions, just I couldn't get a good feed of the game for the Partick Thistle game, and I had 3 courses of pure joy to cook for my parents and in-laws on Sunday there, so I never had a chance to do that either. But the dinner went down well, so
fantastic, mate.
Yes, so thanks very much for listening, and goodbye.
Yes, folks, thanks for listening. Take care. Goodbye.
And I'm just going to follow you guys, because this is all new to me, so take care, people, and goodbye.
She's got the hairiest bush I've ever seen in my life.